Last time on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And the winner, Gerard McDonald. Is that your final answer,
That's
Gerard?
my final answer.
It's a good one for $8,000. Right, $16,000. Good for you. You got it for $32,000. Let's talk out loud. I like it when you talk to us.
Okay, I'll talk out loud. Final answer, A, water lilies. Loud enough?
Loud enough, but wrong enough. You got it for $32,000. He was the one, $64,000. Just won $125,000.
I'm leaning towards New Guinea, but it's not strong enough to go on. I'm going to walk away.
Now, join us from New York for night 95 of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Thank you very much, everybody. Good evening and welcome to Wednesday night at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. As you just saw, last night we had two amazing contestants with us. Paul was very emotional on his way to winning $125,000. And Gerard, what a character. That face, that voice, those facial expressions, actually a lot of fun to have around, and a great contestant too. But now let's see how our returning contestant will do. Jim Farr slipped into the hot seat at the end of the show last night, and he's back with us tonight. Nice to see you, Jim.
Nice to see you, Regis.
All right, so first time here in New York City?
Actually, the second time.
Second time.
Here.
First time with your father, right?
First time with my father, yes.
Yeah, good. Hi, Jerry. How you doing?
Okay.
So you and your dad loose in the big town?
We took on Times Square last night, and then I got the first good night's rest I've had in several weeks.
And when you say you took on Times Square, what does that mean?
I think just getting down there was taking on enough, and trying to take one of your infamous New York City cab rides back to the hotel was quite the adventure.
Really? Like what happened?
Near-death experience, that's all
come
I can say.
You got back, didn't you?
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah, but now wait a minute. You know, this guy happens to be a pilot, and I read you've been flying for 8 years. And one trip you landed at the wrong airport. How do you like that? Right?
Well, I guess now the whole world knows.
All right, Jim. Well, listen, good luck to you.
Thank
Everybody
you.
in Tucson pulling for you, I'm sure. You won $200 the last night. You're 13 questions away from winning $1 million tonight. Here's how we play. The more questions you get right, the more money you win. Once you reach the $1,000 or the $32,000 level, you're guaranteed to leave here with at least that much money. Do you have all your lifelines left, 50-50? Ask the audience, and you can phone a friend. Now, to play along with Jim, log on to abc.com, click on the Enhanced TV logo, and play against everybody at home watching ABC's Enhanced TV. All right, Jim, ready to go here?
Yes.
Audience, are we ready? Yes, let's do it. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, here it comes for $300. In Bing Crosby's famous song, pennies come from what celestial source? Pluto, sunbeams, heaven, Starship Enterprise.
The answer is C, heaven.
Yes, it was pennies from heaven. Absolutely right. For $500, what name has the Nike sportswear company given to its distinctive logo? Bolt, check, flash, swoosh.
I believe the answer is D, swoosh.
Yes, Nike and the swoosh, one and the same. For $1,000, check it out. Which of the following countries is also known as Holland? France, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg.
I believe the answer is B, Netherlands.
Yes, it's also known as the Netherlands. You're absolutely right. All right, 1/3 of the way through this, and you're going for $2,000 with all the lifelines ready. Here it is for $2,000. According to the Roman story, what did Androcles remove from the lion's paw? An arrow, splinter, thorn, pebble.
Having a hard time remembering between two of them. I believe the answer is C, Thorn.
Final answer?
Yes.
Yes, you're right. For $2,000, it was a thorn. Sometimes you have to rethink these things that you learned years ago, huh?
Yes.
All right, Jim, here it is, $4,000 coming up. What group of government workers did President Reagan fire after they went on strike in 1981? Railroad conductors, air traffic controllers, forest rangers, post office workers.
I think that's maybe part of the reason I landed at the wrong airport, because there weren't enough air traffic controllers around.
Yeah, sure, blame it on them.
Blame it on them. I'll take B, air traffic controllers.
Final answer?
Yes.
You're absolutely right, it was the air traffic controllers. Here it is now for $8,000. What is the name of Michael Jackson's estate near Santa Barbara? Xanadu, San Simeon, Shangri-La, Neverland.
Trying to think of all the famous places outside of California. I believe Michael Jackson's is D, Neverland.
Want to make it your final?
Yes.
That's what he called it, Neverland. You got it for $8,000. He's 7 away now from $1 million, all 3 lifelines. Here it is for $16,000. Which of the following birds is not classified as a songbird? Lark, finch, dove, oriole.
I've got an idea on this one, but I think I'd like to ask the audience.
Want to poll the audience? All right, audience, Jim needs your help. On your keypads, using A, B, C, or D, please vote now. %62% say it's the dove.
And that's
21% say finch.
That was my first hunch, the dove, and we've got a lot of doves around my house, and they can make a racket, but they really don't sing. So I'll go with the audience and say C, dove.
Final answer?
Yes.
Just won $16,000. We're going to pause. When we come back, he goes for $32,000. Jim Foz from Tucson, Arizona, in the hot seat right now, doing quite well, going for $32,000, 6 away from $1 million, and 2 lifelines left. We need to talk about what you do for a living, Jim.
Well, I'm an occupational and environmental health consultant, and basically what we do is we go around and make sure that what workers are doing is being performed in a safe manner, and that anything they may be chemicals in the air that they're exposed to, that we evaluate that and make sure they're in conformance with regulations.
Okay, like I say, doing fine here, but here's an important area. $32,000 coming up. Let's play. Here it is, Jim. What film features the line, "What we've got here is a failure to communicate"? Cool Hand Luke, HUD, The Great Escape, Bonnie and Clyde.
Seen all of these movies, but not in a number of years.
Yeah, they're all from about 20, 25, 30 years ago. But this was a very famous line from one of them.
Well, I can picture right now the warden standing outside and the prison guard with the glasses on, and him saying, mocking the warden, "What we have here is a failure to communicate," and that movie was Cool Hand Luke. Answer is A.
Final answer?
Yes.
Cool Hand Luke's the answer. $32,000. We're 5 away from $1 million right now, and he still has 2 lifelines. Here it is for $64,000. Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof is on what U.S. monument? Liberty Bell, Washington Monument, Statue of Liberty, Lincoln Memorial.
Well, I've seen all of these monuments and read all the monuments. Keeping them straight is... Got a hunch, but I would like to call John Hyder.
Who's John?
John is a friend of mine in Tucson.
All right, fine. Let's get John from Tucson on the line, AT&T, see if he can help us.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Regis Philbin here from ABC's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Hi, Regis. How you doing?
Good. How are things in Tucson?
Sunny, like always.
I'm here with your buddy Jim. He needs some help. You're going for $64,000 right now. He's got a question and 4 answers that he's going to read to you. One of them's the right answer, okay?
All right.
All right, Jim, it's all yours. You've got 30 seconds, and they start right now.
John, proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof is on what U.S. monument? Liberty Bell, Washington Monument, Statue of Liberty, or Lincoln Memorial?
Could you read the answers again?
Liberty Bell, Washington Monument, Statue of Liberty, or Lincoln Memorial? 8 seconds.
I'd eliminate the Statue of Liberty and the Lincoln Memorial, so it's got to either be the Liberty Bell.
Well, he'd take away C and D, I think, for sure,
Yes.
huh?
Well, at this point, I really don't have anything to lose, so Liberty Bell was my first inclination, and I'll go ahead and go with that.
Final answer?
Final answer.
He says Liberty Bell. You had 32,000. Now you got $64,000. Okay. All right, now we're 4 away from the million and 1 lifeline left, and we're going for $125,000. Who sang a Broadway tune on the final episode of the HBO series The Larry Sanders Show? David Duchovny, Bette Midler, Nathan Lane, Jim Carrey.
Trying to picture the show in my mind. I hate to burn that last lifeline, but let's use it.
All right. Computer, take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving Jim 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Nathan Lane, Jim Carrey.
Let's go for a D, Jim Carrey.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Nailed it for $125,000. Okay, when we come back, he's going for $250,000 and no lifelines left. All righty, Jim, there it is, $125,000. Well, you're doing fine. In his bio, Jim told us that you always seem to be in the right place at the right time, huh?
That's correct.
Yeah, like, give me some examples of in the past this happening.
My whole life is an example. I mean, every door prize, every raffle, every time something comes up fortuitously, I'm always there. I'm always the one that finds the money laying on the sidewalk. I'm always the one that is the first to catch a fish when we go out fishing. Just always been that way since I was a kid.
That's a good sign. And you
Well-
got something going right here, although you did burn up your 3 lifelines.
Yes.
So now it's going to be Brute, Jim, Foss, all the way.
I hope so.
$250,000. Let's play. Here we go. Okay, Jim, here it is for $250,000. What does the Russian name Sputnik mean in English? Orbiter, Brotherhood, Traveling Companion, Eagle.
No, I wish I would have taken Russian in school.
Sputnik made headlines so many years ago, you know, that,
Before I was born, but read a lot about it.
yeah, it was a major event.
Well, it was definitely an orbiter, the first satellite in space. Could be an eagle, flying like an eagle up in space.
Yeah.
Somewhere I remember the term brotherhood does come to mind with the Sputnik. Traveling companion, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I really want to go for B, brotherhood. Orbiter's the obvious choice, but for some reason the brotherhood sticks with me. So let's go with B, brotherhood. Let's risk it.
You're going to risk $93,000.
Came here with a lot less than that.
All right. I'm going to ask you, is that your final answer?
Yes, let's make that final answer.
No, believe it or not, the correct answer was traveling companion. Traveling companion. So we go home with $32,000. That's the last one I would have thought of, traveling companion. Take care of yourself.
Appreciate it.
Well, that was one gutsy player, wasn't he? Jim was a great contestant. I'm so sorry that his luck ran out on that question, but I hope that he and his Sputnik, his traveling companion, his dad, have a great time here in New York City. Right now, we've got 10 new contestants ready to go. Who are they tonight? Let's find out. They are Dennis Padaro, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania; Henry Gira, San Jose, California; Linda Boone, Marlborough, Massachusetts; Jason Dickinson, Stanford, California; Eric Alexander, Fremont, California; Michael Barber, Syracuse, New York; Catherine Wise, Tracy, California; Andrew Perlman, New York City; Denver Corley, Annandale, Virginia; Rob Hofner, Lonsdale, Pennsylvania. All right, everybody, welcome to our show. Here's how it works now. A moment, a question and 4 possible answers will appear on your screens. The one who puts those answers in the correct order in the fastest time will be our next player. Audience, we need complete silence here. Thank you. Here comes the question. Put these Tommy Lee Jones films in order of their first theatrical debut, starting with the earliest. Double Jeopardy, Batman Forever, The Fugitive, Men in Black. Okay, everybody, time's up. Let's see the answer in the correct order, starting with the earliest Tommy Lee Jones film, The Fugitive, Batman Forever, Men in Black, Double Jeopardy. There you go. That's the lineup. Let's see who got it right in the fastest time. The winner, Jason Dickinson. Jason, how are you? Want to play? Let's do it. So it's Jason Dickinson from Stanford, California, one of the 4 fastest finger contestants we have from California tonight. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
You're a world history teacher from a middle school.
That's right, Jane Stanford Middle School right there in Palo Alto.
Wife, Carrie, sitting right behind you there. She's a graduate student, biology,
She's the reason we're there, yeah.
at Stanford
Stanford
University.
University.
Good. All right, Jason, we'll get right into it now, okay? And then we'll talk in a moment. You know about the rules. You know the lifelines, 50-50. Ask the audience, phone a friend. So if you're ready, Jason Dickinson, let's do it. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Here's the $100 question. According to a common phrase, if you've decided to make a new start, what are you turning over? Pot roast, new leaf, 4-leaf clover, mattress.
I believe you're turning over a new leaf, B.
Yes, it's a new leaf you're turning over. You're right for $100. For $200, here it comes. What farm animals are often joined together by a yoke to work in pairs? Oxen, pigs, dogs, chickens?
My answer is A, oxen.
Absolutely, it's oxen. They're in a yoke. They work together. $300. People studying to become lawyers must attend which of the following schools? Culinary school, law school, acting school, traffic school.
Let's go with B, law school.
You got it right, Jason. Law school, of course, $300. For $500, here it is. In which type of restaurant would you most likely find food prepared with soy sauce? Italian, Cajun, Mexican, Japanese?
My answer is D, Japanese.
Yes, Japanese restaurant, soy sauce, $500. Here it is now for $1,000. In what U.S. state is ice cream maker Ben & Jerry's based? Vermont, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Nevada.
My answer is A, Vermont.
Yes, Ben & Jerry's are in Vermont. $1,000. We're going to pause when we come back. He's going for $2,000 with all of his lifelines left. Jason Dickinson going for $2,000 with all of his lifelines left. Incredible story how you met your wife, Carrie. How long have you been married now?
About a year and a half.
Just about a year and a half. All right, so I want to hear this story. First from you and then from her.
Okay, I was
You're traveling up, what is it? What
heading
highways?
up the I-5 between
I-5.
San Diego and Los Angeles.
There you go.
Caught in traffic, started looking over the car next to me, and happened to be a girl looking back at me, and we were keeping eye contact for a few miles. It was a traffic jam, so it was a few minutes, and next thing I know, she's writing something down, puts it up on the window. It could have been any number of things, but it happened to be her phone number. So
She wrote her phone number on the window before she even said a word to you.
this is true.
You were thinking she was going to say drop dead or stop looking
I
at
had, or worse.
you. Yeah. Carrie,
Yes?
how many times have you done that before?
Just the one time.
Oh, come on, Carrie. You're with us.
I swear, it was the only time I'd ever done
He
that.
just looked like that kind of a guy, huh?
I
that
could
you
tell he was a
trust.
good guy, yeah.
That's good. All right, now you're living happily ever after, right?
So far.
All right, now, Jason, here's where you stand. You're going for $2,000. You're 10 away from $1 million. You've got the 3 lifelines ready. Want to do it again?
Let's go.
All right, let's play. Here we go. For $2,000, here it comes. What comedian's catchphrase was, well, excuse me? Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, George Carlin, Robin Williams.
I'm fairly confident it's B, Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, final answer?
Yes.
Well, excuse me, you're right for $2,000. Steve Martin. Here it is now for $4,000. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is another name for what religious group? Mormons, Baptists, Christian Scientists, Jehovah's Witnesses.
I think it's definitely A, Mormons.
Mormons, final answer?
Yeah.
Right for $4,000, it's the Mormons. $8,000. In the 1998 movie Saving Private Ryan, what actor plays Private Ryan? Tom Hanks, Tom Sizemore, Matt Damon, Edward Burns.
One of my favorite movies, being a U.S. history teacher, C, Matt Damon.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Got it right for $8,000. 7 away now from $1 million. Here it comes for $16,000. What female leader succeeded Ferdinand Marcos as president of the Philippines? Corazon Aquino, Benazir Bhutto, Nora Astorga, Chandrika Kumaratunga.
I believe she had been the wife of a former leader in the Philippines, Corazon Aquino. A.
Final?
Final.
Corazon Aquino, the right answer for $16,000. Nice to be a teacher of world history, huh?
Doesn't hurt.
Comes in handy, Jason. All right, we're going for $32,000 right now. You're 6 away from $1 million. All your lifelines are with you. Should you miss here, you'll lose 15 grand. But here it is for $32,000. What popular song was sampled in the 1990 MC Hammer hit You Can't Touch This, Funky Town, Super Freak, Brick House, Get Down on It.
I never thought this would be a valuable piece of information, but I'm pretty sure it's B, Super Freak.
Super Freak, you know this one.
I think so. I was a senior in high school, and this is one of our songs, so
Final answer?
yeah, final answer.
He says Super Freak. He's right, it was Super Freak. $32,000, just like that. Jason, this is getting interesting now.
For me too. Yeah.
Going for 64,000, 5 away from $1 million, and here it comes. The Colorado River empties into what body of water? Pacific Ocean, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of California, Hudson Bay.
I grew up in San Diego, went out to Colorado River a few times, and I'm pretty sure it empties into C, the Gulf of California.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Got it for 64,000. When we come back, he goes for 125,000 with all of his lifelines ready. There it is, Jason. $64,000. Boy, you're doing just terrific here. You've got all your lifelines ready. You're 4 questions away from $1 million. What would you and Carrie do with the million? Or any sum of money this large?
We talked about it. We, being a graduate student and a teacher, we have kind of skimped around the holidays and birthdays with a lot of our friends. We'd like to pay them back with some really nice gifts. Take a trip maybe this summer, possibly Italy. My brother's been there. He raves about it. A couple other things. Kids are in our future. This will make things a lot easier.
Well,
Give us
that's
some
great.
breathing space.
Well, here you are, $125,000 we're going for right now. 4 away from $1 million. Let's play. Here it is, Jason, for $125,000. What does the letter J stand for in longtime FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover's name? Joseph, Jeremiah, Jackson, John.
I have no clue, but I think I have the right person to call to find out. I'd like to go ahead and call my friend Jim Fletcher.
What does he do?
He's also a teacher. He was actually a teacher of mine in high school, and we've maintained a friendship.
Better call your old teacher, huh?
Yeah,
That's
he
good.
goes by Fletch.
There you go. We'll get Fletch on the line. AT&T will help us and see what he has to say.
Hello?
Hello, Fletch.
Yes?
Yeah, hi, Regis Philbin here, calling from New York.
Regis, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Just fine.
I'm here with an old student of yours, Jason.
I remember him quite well.
Yes, and he remembers you, too, especially at a time like this. He's going for $125,000 right now.
Okay.
And he's relying on his old teacher to come up with the answer. Hello?
I hope his old teacher can do it.
Oh, I'm sure he can. All right, so Fletch, in a moment he's going to read the question, the 4 answers. One of them's the right answer. Jason, it's all yours. 30 seconds right now.
Fletch, what does the letter J stand for in longtime FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover's name? A, Joseph, B, Jeremiah, C, Jackson, or D, John?
GJ, I really don't know.
Bummer. Any guess? 7
no.
seconds. Okay, no
Joseph.
problem.
Sorry, my brother.
It's all right. Have a good spring break.
It's a shame. All of our lives we've heard J. Edgar Hoover and nobody ever, well,
You
not
know,
many of us really know.
And he teaches history and government, if you can imagine that. Had to get him for that. Well, let's go ahead and ask the audience what they think.
When I ask the audience. All right, audience, Jason needs your help on your keypads using A, B, C, or D. Please vote now. Well, 52% say John, although it's pretty well spread out.
Wow.
You know, these things happen quite frequently. You're cruising right along, and then suddenly you run into that one question, and you Takes 2 or 3 lifelines to stay in the game. You've got 1 lifeline left. You can narrow it down and see if John is still in there. That might help you out.
You know, I've done about as well as I expected to do here today, and I'm afraid to risk that kind of money. It's a lot of money for a teacher like me. I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
Well, now, wait a minute, Jason. You're not going to leave a lifeline on the table, are you?
Well, sure, take the 50-50 and see
There
what
you
happens.
go. Now you're
Why
talking.
not?
Computer, take away 2 of the wrong answers for Jason, and let's see what you leave us, okay?
That's what I'm most afraid of. Now, the audience had 52% for John, and I didn't see the percentage on Joseph, but I think it was around
About 19.
19.
It's your decision, Jason.
One of my best friends' name is Joe.
You'd lose $32,000 in here if you miss. 50-50 chance at this point.
Most people would be really shocked to hear me say this, but I'm gonna go for D, John.
You're going to go for what?
For D, John.
I feel responsible now that I kind of talked you into taking the...
Well, you know, you were right. I kind of assumed it would be, but thinking now, how many chances do you get to do something like this? I'll take, don't feel responsible, just don't worry about it. I'll take D, John. I know what I'm doing here.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Got it for $125,000. I was really worried if you got it wrong, you'd ask me to kick in the difference. Okay, Jason, we might as well take a look at the next one. 3 away from $1 million.
Might as well.
$250,000. You're not going to be here again soon, maybe, you know?
Okay.
Let's look at it for $250,000. Which of the following is not one of South Africa's 3 national capitals? Johannesburg, Pretoria, Bloemfontein, Cape Town. Not one of the 3 national capitals. You lose $93,000 here. You go up to $250,000 if you win.
You know, I was just checking maps the other day, and I noticed that it had 3 capitals. I know that C is 1. I'm relatively sure that C is 1. I'm relatively sure that D is 1. So now we're down to that whole 50-50 thing again. You know, I think Johannesburg is a big city, but I don't think it's the capital. I'll say A.
You're going to go for it again.
Yeah, worked the first time. Press my luck.
I think it's Johannesburg, not the capital.
Right. Yeah, Johannesburg.
Making me very nervous.
Yes, you're not the only one.
You want to make it your final answer?
Yes, final answer.
Just won $250,000. When we come back, we'll look at the $500,000 question. So we're back now with Jason Dickinson. Boy, a lot of tension in the studio right now. He's won $250,000. We're going to look at the $500,000 question right now. Your students at the Stanford Middle School must be going nuts.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. They go nuts on a normal day.
Yeah,
So,
sure. Carrie's quite nervous back there as well. We're all pulling for you, Jason. Here it comes now. He's 2 away from $1 million. No lifelines left. Here it is for $500,000. Let's play. Which of the following TV series did not feature Janet Jackson as a cast member? Fame, Good Times, Give Me a Break, Different Strokes.
I know she was on Good Times. I used to watch that show a lot. But the other three, you know, I did watch Different Strokes quite a bit, but I can't say that she was or wasn't a cast member. The other two, I didn't watch so much at all. I've had a pretty good day.
Yes, you have.
I'm gonna call it quits here.
Nobody blames you. You would lose $218,000 if you made a guess here and got it wrong. Gonna take a walk?
I'm a walk.
All right, final decision?
Final answer.
The correct answer was Give Me a Break. Here you go, Jason. $250,000. Yeah, there it is.
Thank you very much.
You got it, Jason. Good luck to you.
You did it.
Well, Jason is our 16th $250,000 winner, and we just got to wait and see now over the next 5 episodes if that's going to be enough to qualify for our Champions episodes that are upcoming. Now we still have 9 more contestants ready to go, so here's the next fastest finger question. Here it comes. Put these cities in geographical order, starting at the North Pole and heading south. Juneau, Sydney, Tokyo, Honolulu. Okay, everybody, time's up. Let's see the answer in the correct order. Starting at the North Pole and heading south. Juneau, Tokyo, Honolulu, Sydney. That's the correct order. Let's see who got it right. Fastest time winner, Linda Boone. Congratulations, Linda. Let's do it. Okay, Linda Boone, congratulations, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm an IT recruiter. Got into that because I started out developing web pages when I was at the University of Illinois. And just seemed like an interesting thing to do.
And where are you from?
Currently from Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Born in Pittsburgh.
All right, good, Linda. Well, good luck to you. We'll
Thank
get
you.
as many questions as we can in because, you know, we're running out of time at this point. But let's get started. You know the rules, you know the lifelines. So let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Linda. For $100. According to a biblical saying about justice, a criminal should pay an eye for an eye. And what? Tooth for a tooth, hair for a hair, toe for a toe, change for a 20.
Got a relative who's a dentist, so I'll go with a tooth for a tooth.
Got it right, tooth for a tooth. It's the end of that phrase. $200. Someone who has spilled the beans has done what? Made a wish, told a lie, revealed a secret, ruined the carpet.
C, revealed a secret.
Yes, they've revealed the secret for $200. $300. Which of the following is not a primary color? Yellow, fuchsia, red, blue.
Color I look horrible in. B, fuchsia.
I wouldn't say that.
You haven't seen me in it.
Well, maybe you do. Anyway, it's $300. You got it right. $500. In the Old Testament, Noah gathered how many of each kind of animal onto his ark? 1, 2, 3, 9.
2.
That's what Noah did. 2 a pair. Pair of each came out. You won $500. We're going for $1,000. On the TV show The Brady Bunch, what is Father Mike Brady's profession? Lawyer, reporter, architect, advertising executive.
C, architect.
Got that right, too, for $1,000. Linda off to a flying start here, but that sound means that we're out of time for tonight, but you'll be back here tomorrow night. And joining her will be 10 new contestants who have flown in from all over the country. And they are Paul Baronson, Ron Fragero, Jeremy Conklin, Bob Schick, Sean Degler, Mike Kramer, Jay Hergott, Brad Knox, Jason Hirsch, and Mile Walsh. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. At what time, Linda?
9, 8 Central.
There you go. Stay tuned now for a brand new episode of The Drew Carey Show, next on ABC. From New York, everybody, good night.